Welcome back. We're so glad you guys are connecting with us. We're so happy to be here, and we have a super interesting topic today.
What may it be?
I don't know. First of all, I need to know, how was y'all's week?
It was interesting. We voted for the first time.
We were productive.
Civic duty.
What can we say? I dressed up. I felt like the president. I felt very important, I can say.
Well, the president does vote too, so you got
He
that
does?
in common. Yeah, the president votes.
Educated today.
Likely for
I didn't know
himself, but now you know. Okay, so the topic for today is, you guys know that verse in the Bible. You call it your life verse. For I know the plans that I have for you are plans of good and not of evil, to give you a hope and a future, right? And we believe that these are promises that the Bible gives us, right? But then why is it that sometimes in life we go through tough times and it feels like the whole world is against us? It feels like we're, carrying a big load uphill and the wind is against us, and it feels just like such a struggle. And we don't know, why is it that God promised good things, but then it feels like right now all we see is dark?
Well, I believe that even through the trials and like the hard times, God uses those bumps in the road to fulfill the purpose he has for us, and he like molds us during that time.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people sometimes like hearing, "Oh, Ellie, this is your purpose, and you're gonna be this great person. You're gonna have all this influence. You're gonna go up there. You're gonna go speak. You're gonna do all these great things." But then when let's start developing you into this great person. It takes. Sometimes you also have to think. When you're building a Lego building and you don't have the
foundation.
The foundation isn't right. It's not built properly, and a lot of the times, due to maybe us or maybe other things, we didn't have the best childhood, or we weren't molded the right way. And God wants you to be this person that, obviously, like, none of us are perfect, but God wants you to be a specific type of person for your specific type of purpose. So sometimes God has to kind of rip you down, kind of take everything out, everything that wasn't good, everything that isn't and maybe there's some things that are good, but he puts that Lego piece aside, but he has to take everything else out, and it's never gonna feel good for God to take anything out. You know what I mean? Because whether it be a friend, it be a leader, it be somebody in your life, an environment, you're used to it. And as humans, we like a routine, we like being comfortable, and God is just taking us out of our comfort zone and ripping us up to make this this castle. You know what I mean? Because he's promising, oh, you're a small little house right now, but you're gonna be a castle. Do you think the foundation of a little house can be the foundation of a castle?
Absolutely not. I live with a husband who is all civil engineering, and that's one thing I learned. The foundation of a castle does not work for a house, and a house doesn't work for a castle.
Well, I also believe not everyone has the same process, and just because your neighbor didn't go through the hard times you did, that the plans God has for you isn't good.
Yeah. And what do you think then the verse means, that his plans are good for us? If it doesn't mean that we'll always have good things coming, that tomorrow is just going to be a good day, what do you think it means?
I would say, for me, since I use it as my life verse, the reason it is my life verse is because at a point in my life, it was all these little things that would give me anxiety, of social anxiety, or not even it just everything. It would make me think, oh, this person wants to do this to me, or my teacher doesn't like me because I looked at her the wrong way. I wasn't even looking at her, and I thought I was looking at her. All these little insecurities that I was looking in my environment of myself, and all these things. It just made me unsure. It was where am I gonna go? You know what I mean? And when I found that verse, it gave me the comfort that I do have somewhere good to go. That there's going to be that one day that I'm going to stand there and I'm going to be proud of who I am. And that I'm not going to be questioning what this person thinks of me or what this person thinks of me, because God has made me the person. It doesn't mean you're going to be perfect, but God is going to make you the best you that you're going to be. You know what I mean? It's going to make you get to the point where you're going to be proud. You're going to be happy of who you are, So maybe not perfect, but yes, you're perfect,
Also, God's perfect for the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
So, just to recap, I think that this verse, the hope of a future that God gives us, is in him. So what he's saying is, don't worry about how things look today. I know you're going to go through tough times through your life. I know that sometimes it's going to feel like everything just really sucks. I know that sometimes it feels like you don't want to wake up that day, that you're all on your own, that everything around you feels dark, that you feel you're surrounded by dark clouds. But you know what? The plan, the long term, not the tomorrow, not the day after tomorrow, but I know how your life is going to look. And I'm giving you the hope today that there's a future for your life. Yeah. That's the way I always read it. God is the hope for our future. And I feel like sometimes we're in this stage, especially when I was you guys' age. I don't want to reveal my age because it's a lot more than you think.
She's young, can you say?
Heart. Anyway, I felt such a huge pressure on my shoulders for having to decide how my future was going to be. You know, you're starting college, you have to pick a major, and that major is going to be your job, and you don't know if you're going to like your job or if you're just going to be miserable in your job, and you have to figure out what college you go to, and then you have to figure this out, and where am I going to live, and the SATs, and you guys are a little past that, but you remember how stressful that was? And knowing that God said, don't worry, I know the plans I have for you. It just took that load off of me. It said, I'm going to make the wisest choices I can. I'm going to seek counsel, do my research. I'm going to do the best choice. But my future is not my own. Yeah. God has a hope for my future. God knows the plans he has for me, so I can't mess up my future.
I also believe you have to trust God for him to be able to fulfill his purpose in you. Yeah. And I feel, because I actually recently, Leah knows, like, I had a trouble, like, signing up for my classes last semester, and there was something that happened. I was like, oh, I probably won't be able to graduate in time. It was, like, that whole week I was stressed.
The amount of texts that I got.
She got a lot of texts. I was, like, freaking out.
And she was like, I'm sorry that I'm bothering you. I'm like, it's fine, Ali.
You know what? God bless friends like Leah that are there to remind you and keep your head straight when the stress is on.
Yeah, like, the stress was real, I can tell you guys. But by the end of the week, everything was fixed. So I'm good now. Yeah. But I also prayed a lot. I had to give it to God, because if not, that...
Then you know, right?
Yeah.
The fact that sometimes when we're in the middle of something really stressful, we just don't have perspective to trust in God. Yeah. But a week later, you're like, God, you know what? You got this. I know you're faithful. I know. But sometimes we need that friend that is just like Leah that will give you that perspective in, like, the darkest moment. Whether it's a little problem, a huge problem, or an unimaginable problem.
It also, I feel like, sorry.
So get you a friend like Leah.
What can I say? But it's something that verse also taught me is a lot of the times we want to do something supernatural with our grades, with our classes, with these things that it's like, how... God, I'm trying my hardest and it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm not learning the material. I'm not learning this or this class. I've taken 3 classes and I'm still not getting the grade that I want, or this or that. All these other things, you know what I mean? And that's not specific to age. That goes to, like, when you're older, when you're younger, when you're in elementary school. I remember, oh my gosh, stressful pre-K days. What can I say? What color to paint?
Oh, no. That nap.
Yes, that nap was stressful. No, but a lot of the times it's like, it also gave me the peace that if I'm trying, I know that God will provide. If I'm giving it my 100%, God will meet me halfway. Does that make sense? And God, what you can't as a human, God will fulfill as your God. Does that make sense? So it's like, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to expose myself a little bit. I took college biology, my senior year of high school. I had a D that entire semester, guys. What was happening? I don't know. I was crying. I would sit and I would flip through the textbook and I would just be like, God, what's going to happen? You know what I mean? But then the professor said magic. He said, whatever you get on your final is what you get in the class.
Start studying.
So she was study. Guess what I got? Y'all won't believe it. Y'all won't.
A.
Yes.
Oh my
God. An A. From a D to an A. Like when I got it, when I saw it, I was like, no. I was like, this is a joke. Like, God does things that are like, like, I know
that wasn't me.
I am a social science major, guys. I'm in the schools of the art, or whatever you want to call it. Not no science, not no math, and God knows why.
Of the brain.
Yeah, God knows why not. And I got an A.
Well, you know what? The Bible does say that he is glorified in our weakness.
You heard my boogers?
And it's this little the things that go on in our life where we see God go beyond where we can go, that he is not only glorified, but his identity is imprinted in us. We know who God is. We know God is faithful, because when I studied all night and I knew I couldn't make it, when I didn't have strength to keep on studying, since we're talking about school, when I thought everything was falling apart, when I thought my strength wasn't enough, when I thought my dreams were too big for me, God went above and beyond, because his plans for me are plans of good and not of evil.
Yes.
And it's through those times where I know I wasn't enough, but he was more than enough for me, that his identity is established in my life. And tomorrow, when I face a tough time, I remember how faithful God is. Yeah. That's how he changed my life.
I feel like that verse is kind of God, like, telling, trust me. Like, it's a confirmation that you can trust him. I feel like that's what it is. I feel like it's like, trust me. That if that's your 100%, trust me. Because my 100% is unimaginable. Yeah. So that, like, I think that's what it is for me.
Yeah, I think that sums it up perfectly. If you have to just say something so that whoever's watching can have a takeaway from this podcast, what would it be, Elizabeth?
I think, well, what the verse says, to trust God, because even there will always be hard times. So, and he's telling you, even if there's good or bad times, he's gonna be there with you. So just trust in him. I think that's what will get you through the good and the bad days.
It's believing. It's trusting. It is that, like, because we live in a world where people believe on what they see, you know. Yeah. They don't believe on what they can't see, and I feel like it's God telling you what studying for that test isn't gonna get you there. It's trusting me. Yeah. It's gonna get you there. So it's like, yes, I studied, guys.
But you know what? Studying and putting in the hours when you know you're not enough, that's also trust.
Yeah. I feel like exactly, like, it goes hand in hand. So don't think, oh, God will provide.
Like, please don't take that away from this podcast.
Yeah, like a small example, today I had a bio exam, and I've been passing, like, my bio classes, but not getting the grades I want. Yeah. And then, like, I studied for my my exam, but I feel like I did, like, the highest grade I got on this past exam, so that was God.
Wow. I love it. So, guys, we just want to remind you, first, to meet us here next week. We'll be waiting for you, but also to remember that God has your future in his hand. Yes. And the way he's faithful in the past, he'll be faithful in the future.
She's waving.